one of the things that I came across in getting ready for this was just kind of the latest trend in terms of poverty in the state of Texas. So a couple of articles pointing to the fact that poverty, going back to that guideline, going back to those guidelines in the first slide, if you remember, poverty may be going down in Texas, but the need for food has not changed. Right? In fact, people need, they have basic needs, and they're even more prevalent now, more so than they have been before. In 2015, 12% of Texas households used some sort of social policy program, and that was down from 13% in 2014. So there is evidence that people may be less dependent on certain types of public assistance, but are they still struggling? Are they still trying to pull things together in order to take care of their families? Yes, that is true. The economy recovery has not reached everybody. And I think I asked you to explain, where did you get that from with Texas? Because before I moved here, a lot of people were telling me, oh, the recession missed Texas. Like, Texas did not get hit by the recession. Everything is so great, and there's all these jobs everywhere. However, that's speaking to a certain population and a certain demographic. It's not going across the board. And really, if you want to look at how well a state is doing, you look and see where they measure in terms of education and in terms of other types of programs and services that are vital to helping communities thrive, right? And education is a big one. And I moved from a state that was equally as bad as Texas, and we did not pay state tax. And it is very clear in how children were funded in the education system that we did not take care of them. Okay. The need for food assistance is not limited to those living in poverty. What does that mean? What is when you read that, what do you think about?
Food deserts?
Yeah, food deserts.
What did she say?
Food deserts.
Poverty is not really what people make it. So that the poverty threshold is obviously very low. People are still working, it's probably, say, working for tax returns. So that's what that is.
I heard, and my brother is the one that told me about it, and I had it confirmed by other people, but in Maryland, the housekeepers in the hotels, they will structure their time off for that, I guess, recertification period. So that way their paycheck, or not time off, but they'll work crap ton of overtime, somehow structure it where most of their days off, and I don't even think they get paid for it. Most of their days off, so their paycheck stubs are smaller during that recertification period that they have to turn in, so that way they can still qualify for their help and still be able to work their full-time with their benefits and stuff like that, just because it's not enough. And I don't know what the cost of living is up there, but versus Texas, or if it's any different. But in Washington, Maryland area, DC area.
I have a question about like the food desert thing. I guess I don't understand, but I heard something like the quality of the grocery stores is dependent on like the income of the area. Like, I just didn't know how that works.
Well, that's good that you mentioned that. My next slide is the food desert. So it's a combination of different things. It's certainly the quality and the level of food product available to the community. It's also distance. So the food desert phenomenon comes in because if you have communities where in order for a family to access healthy choices of food, like a grocery store that's going to have fresh produce and all of that, if they have to travel, a long distance, then it's not necessarily beneficial to that community if they got to go outside of their community to get to it. Have you all ever seen or been through or been in a community where there was literally no grocery store, or the closest grocery store was very far away?
Yes. Or like, I know even like the HEB on like, it's not small. Like, there's like no produce really, or like it's kind of like rotted out and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I don't care to me, I guess.
Right. So those communities would be considered food deserts, and you know, we won't have a long drawn out conversation about how we define who is poor, but that's a real conversation because, you know, it makes you think of so many different things outside of public assistance. Access to being able to